Hello ladies and gentlemen and welcome to the Valley of the Old Farm. This is FS22, I'm Dew. Just me today. I'm hoping maybe to bring Chris into this later. At the moment, this little series I want to work on myself and I want to bring you guys in to have a look. So this is the map of the Valley of the Old Farm. I do believe it was an FS17 map. Going through 1920. It's got a lot of really cool features, really neat little touches that I'm going to go through. I'm not going to go through it all today. This isn't like a map tour or first look map. This is going to be a Let's Play series that we're going to hopefully use a lot of the good features. Now, I've got two main goals and objectives with this particular farm. Number one is to complete the VIP order system, which is this. As you can see here, we've got 4 levels here. I do think it continuously updates, so I'm going to go for at least 4 levels. See how long that takes us, see how we do. And then from there, we can decide if we want to keep going or whether we want to try a different map. I have a lot of ideas. We'll see where we get to. But as you can see, it's asking for various different products here, and it'll offer bonuses for completing them and delivering them. This map's done differently to some others where it's actually done free choice, so I can deliver these two anyway, so basically where they've got the best price, which is good. But once I get those particular items, I will get bonuses. Now, most of them, as you can see, are harvestable items: canola, sorghum, stuff we have to plant, we have to grow. Think of things like honey. I need bees. Grapes, I'm going to need a vineyard. That's different. It's not something I've ever played the game. Lettuce means I need a greenhouse. Eggs means I need chicken, and milk means I need cows. So that's going to be the main objective, is this. Certainly these 4 levels. On top of that, I want this to be a profitable farm. This is not going to just run through loans. I have a different loan system in here. I can't just borrow money willy-nilly. I've got to borrow it in proper loan conditions. It costs me interest. Something I don't want to do. So I need a background moneymaker. Now, the easiest method of doing that is going to be silage. Now, as you can see, if you're looking around while I'm talking, we've started with a pretty well stacked farm. This farm is basically ready to go. Got a little bit of money in the bank. Don't want to spend 8 quid on, but there we go. So today we have 2 main objectives. The first is to get if I just give a quick look, we own quite a lot of land. See, we're doing quite well on that front. I want to get these 4 grass fields cut and into the silage bunker. Now that's going to be basically a full day's work in itself. On top of that, we have 2 loads of crops. That being this load of oats here and this load of soybeans here that are ready to harvest. So I can set a harvester off looking at these while I help. I'm going to be using cosplay. I'm going to be using cosplay quite a lot because obviously I'm solo. I will probably set cosplay off doing the harvesting, and I will leave a tipper to pick up from it. I will set a cosplay doing the mowing. I will then, certainly for the start, I will run the pickup wagon. So with that in mind, when it comes to mowing, I have this little beauty. This is this is called the Agcor Swather. I've got this here in Heston colours. Basically, I love this thing. I use it quite a lot because it's not got the expense of the big M, but it does a lot of the similar role. It will cut. And you can see by that machine over there, it will do ready. See, this here not quite wide. This does ready conditioned hay, which is an amazing little trick. It means you can get hay straight off the bat. I'm going to do 1 field of hay today because I do want to get cows in. So we need milk anyway. So if we get cows, we can get TMR going. So I'm going to make 3 of these fields grass fields. Well, 3 of these grass fields I'm going to cut for silage. They're putting the bunker compacted down. Have some lovely silage. 1 of them I'm going to cut for hay, probably at the end. But first thing, I'm going to get this guy set up because this guy can run ahead of me. Starting off on the field furthest over here. cosplay. I struggle now to play this game without cosplay. It's seriously. Probably looks massive to you guys. This is just how much I use this. That I can just go through the settings. Right. So I now send that guy off to his first waypoint. What I am then going to do, next one, I'm going to get the harvester going, because I need the harvester to start collecting these oats off this field. The harvester, we've got this lovely big class 5500 Lexion. Not quite the biggest, obviously not as big as like an 8900, but has good capacity, has really good. Obviously this is going to give us straw as well, these oats, which will be useful for TMR, so I'll have collection. Try not to get Austin Powers between the trees. I cannot believe I just... Wow, 6 minutes in and already I managed to do something like that. Got this here with a nice big header, so this should be able to munch through some of these fields in reasonably good time scale, which is what we're aiming for. I hate it when it does this. Come on, don't flip it over. There we go. Obviously I need one tipper trailer. Doing this I will need something on the forage harvester for me. As you can see we started with like 50,000 because I want this to make money. I'm going to need money for, you see here, for workers and stuff, so it's no good me just having nothing. But obviously, hopefully, they like just being able to make and sell silage will be where I will make the money. So let's see. So they got the AS. I want this guy first. See, the three tractors. We start with three tractors. Got this little Massey Ferguson 5455 slant nose, complete with a front loader. We've got a Massey 8S. We've got a Case Puma 240. Now I'll talk to you. The Case. I've got a special reason why I picked the Case. Let's get this guy onto this one. See, we have a good selection of trailers. There's our forage harvester, forage wagon, the nice big Fendt in the middle there. We've got a specialist trailer for silage over there in the Quaco, and then we've got a choice of grain trailers. So I'll send this guy down. Luckily with Cosmos, you've got the unload combine option, which is a great one, because it means I can basically fully, if it's willing to work, which can be a little 50-50 at times, but more often than not does, I can basically fully automate. So let's put that there. And here's the Case Puma, as you can see. Now the reason, I said there's a reason why I picked this tractor. The Case Puma holds a special place for me. One of the first saves I ever put a lot of hours into was a Department Hope Bailey. This is a 4x map based off the default in-game map for those who don't. However, a really good map. I recommend anybody try it out if you like big maps. How did I know that happened? I obviously missed a tree. So it's a bit unrealistic, but I can't be messing around. So as I say, no, yeah, a good map if you like big maps, plenty of big fields. Department Hope Bailey was realistic. It had the standard Hope Bailey in the middle, so it had the really detailed, but then it had bigger fields on the outside. And on the day I started the map, I checked the used vehicles and there was one of these Puma 240s. That was still with me when I eventually stopped playing the map, mainly because I think I got too many vehicles and the map got a bit crowded. But it was a great tractor. I had it fully refurbished and repainted at one point. Okay, I need to figure out how I get over to that field without like driving over crop. Like I think these way, probably the 2 ways to go off the road back there. So we did. Like, let's just have a look at them on the map. So yeah, these Pumas, that's why I picked one for here because I had such a great, was such a versatile, good tractor on Or Bailey, that I've just always got a soft spot for them. Yeah, I've got this lovely big Fentigo forage wagon. It can take size, but I don't have any right now, and something I hope to get at a later date because it will allow me to obviously you get a lot more out of your fields with it, but for now I haven't quite got straight away. I've got a mod that gives me big barrels of it, but they cost like half of the money we currently have, and I don't want to spend that right now. So this guy's literally just got. So you can see that's leaving a lovely nice swath that have been really simple to pick up. I don't know what I say. I want to get a lap ahead of me just so. Check on this guy. Yep, this guy's going. Let's get this thing started so I know what it is. Wait, if I start from here, he's gonna get find himself blocked by the tree. So maybe we'll do something. I am playing Seasons is off, just trying to speed up a little bit. Which I have crop destruction on, and I have like weeds and lime on because one of the built-in features of this map is a factory that turns fieldstone into lime, so I'm planning to use that. I haven't got precision farming on this one because once again, didn't want to slow it down. This is very much a feeler series for me to get an idea of how I will do Let's Plays for you guys, so I'm testing some things out. There might be some changes we go along as I sort of learn and develop how I want to do this. I just hope you enjoy the ride, folks. Feel free to leave your comments below. Tell me what you think. Make sure I'm doing my job right. Plus, we might as well kick me hard if I'm not, but it always helps for you guys just to chip in as well and let us know how we're doing. Yeah, I do like this little tractor. It's not the biggest or the most powerful, but runs with good versatile machines. I am planning as we go along. I will upgrade some of the machinery. Obviously, I've not got like a complete list here of everything the farm's going to need. I've got a good starting point because I want to be able to get on with things. Oh, so if I pull onto this field here, unload combine. Giants unloader not available, right? So that's an annoyance because that means that when it's full, it won't go and unload itself. And so that's okay. So that means I have to keep an eye on it, and when it says it's full, I'm going to have to go and. So now I'm going to make a start. So, variable veil capacity, just so we're not spending too long going backwards and forwards. So we get about 60,000 litres of compressed grass into this thing, which is great. Don't need the cosplay up on this. And here we are, where are we? So see, I've got to pick this up, run it back to, look at this farm comes with two massive bunker silos. But there's a couple of neat features on those, which is something I do want to show you guys. Get there, but I'll get a full load out of this thing first and then we'll head on over. We'll lift the pickup and don't start scooping up, things we don't want to scoop up. And then try not to reverse into my neighbour's field. I am probably going to acquire more land as I get serious, if we can make the money where I can afford to buy some more pieces of land. Like I said, I've got a different loan system. Now, I'm not afraid of taking a loan, but it's just, it makes the loans more realistic. So you take a loan, you have to say how long you want to pay it off for. It gives you a monthly figure, and it charges you interest. So, in that situation, it's like, do you really need a loan? It's going to cost you. It's not like the default in game where they just cost you the cost of the loan. I do love that shot of the harvester working in the background. Actually, I will try and vary things up a little bit for you guys. I don't want to be... This early episode is going to be very heavy on this. I will time-lapse through some of it. It's going to be very heavy on forage harvesting, basically, because that's going to be But from then on, I'm planning to keep it varied. We're not going to do this every time. We're probably going to do this as often as we could. Because even though this is probably the best money spinner the farm has, I don't want to just be doing this every episode. So we'll keep it varied. Hopefully once I get some harvesting done, my plan is fairly probably to get cows fairly and get chickens and stuff like the eggs then can be good for making money. I do have things like flatbeds. Right, I can show you now because right, so that's me telling me that the combine is full. Now if you look in the back of that you can already see the little Massey Ferguson coming to his rescue. Should get a couple of fills into that Massey, which means at least I'm not going to be on top of it all the time. You see how along he comes. And I love this because this is where cosplay shows what the AI could be. Why Giants have never brought some cosplay like stuff into the game. And he puts his arm out. The Massey should drive underneath. And the AI starts offloading. So hopefully this should about 50% fill it. If it's more than that, I might need to swap into a bigger trailer. I love that a little bit. Look how the AI reverses backwards slightly out of the way once he's loaded, just to make sure the combine can get out. That's such a great touch. So as you saw that there, so we'll now continue. So once I've done one load and I've shown you guys the silage pit, I shall then probably time lapse through a bit more collecting, just so we're just to be moving things along. Because we're hopefully gonna get some good. I'm aiming these 4 fields. I hope to get about 300,000 litres of silage out of them. And that's without additives, so once we are able to afford and buy silage additive, you can understand the difference that's going to make. And I know there's probably people pulling their hair out, which means I'm not the absolute greatest in the world. I do try, but I have a tendency to rely a lot on cosplay when I'm single playing. I'm begging an aim not to here, because obviously you guys sitting watching me do nothing would not be entertaining. But yeah, we've almost done our first tour of the headland, and we're going to get just over 1-2, which is a good sign that we're not filling up too quickly. As I said, probably a bigger forage harvester is going to be on the agenda at some point, just to give us options. I'm not running some of the really unrealistic stuff. I do use sometimes single player. I use the massive lizard TARDIS systems, which I'm not running in this series. I want to keep it a little bit more grounded in realism. Yeah, that's one complete lap, and that's like 84%. So a little bit more, then we'll be full. Then we'll head on over to the silo. Trying to gauge the turn so that the pickup stays on the. You see, I just love that little swather. I love the way it works. It's like the Chrome Big M, but it's a lot cheaper, a lot smaller. Very difficult to move on the road though, because there is a trailer for picking up the header, but I've never got it to work. And it's such a wide header that if you try and drive it, it either needs a flatbed to itself, and the machine itself is actually wider than pretty much every flatbed that's in the game default. I think the Platinum expansion one with the extenders out is literally the exact same width as the rear wheels on that thing. So you end up having to be so precise when you put it. As you see, as we approach full on this thing now, I'll be able. So as it's full, I will go and offload this one. What I will also do is once this field is finished, once we've finished mowing and I've collected off this field, the other tractor, that Massey Ferguson 8S you saw 305, that will be put onto a roller and we'll roll this field back off just so we have the grass coming back down, because obviously I'm going to need the grass to start growing again. I want the grass to be as profitable as possible. So a roller will do the right thing. I hate because that to me does not look full. Considering that says it's full, to me full should be like heaped out the top. So you know, like I say, this farm has 2 built-in silos. 2 is handy because if one hasn't quite emptied, I can use the second. But they have some really, really neat features. Something which I really like. I'll show you now. Okay, that by the way is a static TMR mixer. That's what I was talking about before, how we can do TMR. That's the cow barn. We have a little allotment patch here. The silo down there, which is a brilliantly done. And here's our bunker silos. Now the bit I'm going to show you, obviously that's the bunker silo down there. But if I pull this lever, we have a ramp which allows us to actually unload from the top. Which I think is a great feature. Saves you having to try and back up a massive pile to offload. I mean, I don't know if you've already played the game, you will have done it before, where you're trying to get. I could have done without the trailer steering there. That's just. Oh, I'm on the edge of the ramp. Obviously, be careful not to back it. Oh, no, come back. Yeah. So if I start unloading, see there, let me unload. That's it, getting nice and fill it up. And there we are, so that's the first full load out of this trailer. Obviously compacting I'm going to leave until I've got a bit more in, because the sort of swings and roundabouts, it will take longer if there's more product in it, but I'm not sure if I want to be in, out, in, out, in, out too much. I love the design of this lane, by the way. This lane feels so realistic, the way it bounces around, throws the tractor around. I'm guessing the harvest is probably full again. I've not been given the message this time, which surprises me. No, it's not yet. I wonder why usually that doesn't move until it's told it needs to go and unload again. That's surprised me, is it? But anyway, let's throw a little bit of a time lapse in now, just while we get some of these fields done. Obviously, if anything interesting happens, I will jump back out. Until then, just sit back, enjoy, and I'll see you in a moment. And welcome back, folks. Hope you enjoyed that. As you saw there, a little bit go on while we were. Well, as you saw, we had the little Massey Ferguson get stuck. Which I don't know how he does that from time to time, but that's just something that happens. We had the swath, which you saw finish one field. I finished cleaning that one. I've set the field roller off now. That will rejuvenate the grass, meaning that the next cut of it will be as good as the one we're doing right now. And then just then I might have run over part of my potatoes because I forgot I had crop destruction on. Annoying. So I think I said earlier, my plan is for not all these fields grass will stay grass. Basically, in particular, field 92 over there, I'm planning to put that crop. The reason being, if you look at that and you look at the field next to it, I believe is 63. They fit together really nicely, and there's only a small slither of grass in between them. So I think if I make them into one bigger field, obviously I will increase the crops I can get out of that field. Yes, the fun thing is this next field along here is also going to be cut for grass, and then that fourth and final field there, that will be straw. That'll be hay, sorry, straw's coming from the crops next to us. Then we'll have that straw to collect, we'll have the hay to collect. I've actually looked here because that you guys pointed out earlier that TMR mixer. Now that has a really useful feature in that you can store products in it, but you can take them back out again as individual products, which is really nice. Because that just means that you have no... I can store like the hay and the straw. And if I decide I want to sell it, even the silage I can store in there. And if I decide I want to sell it, well, it's nice and easy. I'm going to check why that hasn't switched to unload. Oh, I see, it's actual Massey that's... Well, the Massey's full again. And you saw me go and drop this in the silo beforehand. I didn't realise we're getting a really good cut off this. It must have been well fertilised. So a lot. Literally, this game is all I've done is added the machinery, the fields. Even that VIP order list was what the game spawned for me. That's why I've got that one annoying field of potatoes over there. Because I have to spend probably 10, 12 grand renting that big potato harvester just so I can get through them. Yep. I think I may be running with the front loader arm a little too low there, maybe cause a pile up of them. The way the suspension moves on this lane I think is great. Yeah, I love this file. There's a lot of really neat features, a lot of which we will go through in time. Because I don't want to bombard this day like a map explorer. I'd rather we find things out as we go along. But I love this silo here in the middle. Don't know what the total capacity is. You see that at the moment we have 41,000 litres of oats now. So you can... I'm running seasons off, so I can... At the moment this would have been probably the natural month for harvesting, so the price will be at its lowest. If I hold on a little bit, the price will get better and sell then. Like I say, if I get desperate for the money, I can always shift it sooner. But you know what I want to do? Get this guy back over so he can... See, field 81's a tiny level. I would kind of think about maybe cutting that into... I might even cut that into 61 because I'm not... Notice I keep 84 and 91 as grass fields. I think 2 will be enough. That does sound like a good idea. Maybe a couple of trees would need clearing. Apologies there, the autosave. Probably a couple of trees would need clearing and one or two other bits and pieces, but yeah, you can see what I mean here on the map. Look how 92 and 63 there, they just meet nicely. And to be fair, these two do the same, so yeah, I can see these two getting cut into one into one field that I can then just plant in one go. It'll be easier to plant some fair hills on this one, because you can see that it's not exactly, definitely not a flat map this. It's a map designed to make your machinery work. Meanwhile, I think the swatter's almost, I'm sure sometimes that he's actually aiming for me. We had one point there where he chased me around field 84 for a bit. I was trying to work out what he was doing. I was after we had the very near miss, near pass. Obviously those fields, I'm not going to cut them today, so for now I'll probably re-roll them both just so we get this, and then after that be a case of get all this lovely grass in the silo, get it fermenting, then once we've done that I can focus on how much I'm going to keep, how much I'm going to sell. Because I think that will probably be the best way for us to make money. Sell silage, use that to keep the bank balance nice and high. Which can then fund what we want to do in terms of... You see, we actually need to sell oats as part of this, so that's always a good start. We're going to have far more than... Anyway, he's finished, so... So I just nice and easy, just move him over to the next field. Like I say, once he's done this field, the final 191, I'm going to swap onto the hay conditioner. That way we can get a field of hay out of it. Oh, that bush clear doesn't like me having parked in it. Well, I'll get this guy cleared out. So yeah, the other thing with that list there is like I'm going to have to think ahead on a few things. Cause, like the grapes are the one that stand out to me. What is it, like 40,000 litres of grapes? Now I'm going to have to plant a vineyard. And then I've waited for the ground. I hope I plant enough. It might take a couple of seasons to get that quantity together. If that's the case, I need to be thinking ahead. So I'll possibly want to start, maybe do the plantation, vineyard, sorry. I'll remember my words eventually. Sooner rather than later, so I'm going to need money for that. I know grapes are really expensive to raise. That gives us like an emergency push on, get some funds in. Obviously, once I've done, if I do manage to complete that and I'm not yet done with the series, we can then just sell grapes. Obviously, this map has quite a few custom productions in, and I am hoping to maybe pick a couple of them up as time goes on. But I'm going to go to you guys. What do you guys want to see? Is there anything particular you want to see me do? Those who know this map or those who don't, you know. If you know of any good mods for productions and stuff, please hit me up in the comments. You know, message Nick Game Time UK on Twitter. We'll certainly look at what we can do and what we can do to add to the series. I have mods that I really like using. I may bring into this, I may bring into later series, but stuff that allows us to basically allows us to experience parts of the game we don't normally. Because as I said earlier, grapes are never something I've messed with because to me it was always a lot of work for not huge amounts of game. But the fact that they've appeared on this list I find really good. Because it means we've no choice, we're going to get to look at grapes because we're going to need to complete the mission. So yeah, just pick these up. By mission there, yeah, the mark and grab it on the... Yeah, this field's so small, it's pointless really planting anything just on it. So I'm better off waiting for those potatoes to ripen and then just cutting all of it together. The other thing I think, as I mentioned earlier, the seasons is off. It was a real onus on me to get fields turned round. Like that field behind us that had oats on, that I'm just... Once I've done that and I've collected the straw off it, I really need to be getting other crops on it just because... Obviously a field that empty isn't making money. That field can be put to so much better use either in crops for us to sell for the VIP or just in general crops. And if we're planning productions and stuff, crops for that. I mean, I usually, one of my go-tos is the flour mill, just I find it one that works well with a lot of the default. So if I plant chickens, it means I need wheat. Now the flour mill takes the wheat that the chickens won't eat very easily. It'll take sorghum, barley, oats, a lot of good stuff. And I find it makes reasonable money as well. Okay, some of these blocked. I am nearly finished. I'm not actually going to go and unload this because I just don't see the point. I may as well go and start picking up off the other field before I do. I'm going to go and check on that blocked by an object in me. I'm just going to move this to where my start point is. So I think you can see now, I do realise it. You can see why, because it is just such a workhorse. So it's good horsepower. I think it's quite heavy. Certainly looks it and feels it, which I think is good for moving bits of machinery. So I'm just going to park this over here for now. I don't want to be working on the same lane as the spotter just because the risk of it tripping over each other. I'd much rather let it get a little bit ahead. So what I imagine I just pick up the harvester and do a little bit of that for you guys. How much was he got to do? No, what to do? Oh no, he's just about finished. Oh yeah, it's difficult to get it to do like almost logical. Because while he's going up and down like that, he could have just done this. I think if I look at the maps, that's pretty much it. Actually, I thought there was a little bit missed up there, but I don't think there is. So this is him done. I have a lovely load of straw to pick up. Lovely load of straw that I can pick up at a later date. I can pick up probably next episode now. Next episode the plan will be for this guy and the tractor to go over to that field of soybeans I showed you out in the forest. I'm actually looking forward to taking you over there because that is a really cool little piece of this map. There's just two fields like the cutting and the forest. I think it's just such an awesome looking, and if it wasn't for this amazing farmyard we have here, I would be so tempted to build just a farmhouse in that there because it's got such a lovely tranquil feeling to it. See if I just another wage payment. That's why I say we need the money coming in, because I need to be able to keep the bills paid, which means that while I'm working towards long-term goals, I need things to be happening. Fuel and AdBlue. That's why I'm running AdBlue mod. I'm running the mud mod, which obviously if the weather gets bad we'll see more of. I just park this guy here for now. So in total I think we got about 46,000 litres off this field. I don't think it's bad at all. So plus there's probably a couple of forager fulls of straw. Which will be additional income. I haven't got baling stuff yet. I am planning to probably get baling later. Right now I'd rather work with the forage harvester just because I find that you can move bulk easier with bales because you can move a trailer full of bales moves a lot more than the forage harvester. Obviously you got the hassle of baling and picking them up then. Yes, that's the Oakfield Habs. Like I say, the plan is for the next episode now. Get that straw picked up. Get it. I want to plough it or probably cultivate it. See if it needs stone picking. If it does get that done, it'd be good because then we can turn some of that straw into lime, which we can then put back down on the field. I think I might actually take you guys out to that other field before we leave. I'm gonna do first. I'm gonna get this guy. I need the engine on before I pick it up. Did I not follow me on? Follow initiate, right controller F. If for some reason it won't do it, so what I'm gonna have to do is I'll probably drive the combine and I'll send the trailer out later. Right, so I'll let the harvester follow the tractor. The problem is if I do that, the harvester's so much bigger, and with it being a rear steer, I know the AI doesn't often do well. So anyway, so I'm going to drive the harvester out there. I'll probably bring the tractor out separately. So I might as well take you through. I'm going to up the house from there. We're not going to start harvesting that now. That's going to come in the next episode. But I love the detail about the detail and the design. Like I said, some of the extra features, some of the stuff that you don't see in a lot of other maps now. Traffic is on, so I need to be careful where I'm driving. But see, as soon as you got the farm, you've got this proper helter-skelter of a dip here. Now I can see this being a problem for heavily loaded trailers when I'm trying to get them to sell, because this guy's gonna lose some serious speed. I thought I had traffic turned on. Let's just be shy. You see, we just got from this side. This looks like dense woodland. It's one of the things I really love about this little area here. Whereas if we go through this cutting, we actually own both those fields and a piece of the forest because I wasn't against doing a bit of forestry work in later episodes. So we own the piece of forest land just to our right here. And as you come into here, you just gonna get this opening, which I think is absolutely fantastic. And there's the field that's ready. It's ready to go, so let's try not to run over any of my crops. It's like this house doesn't quite pick the head up high enough. Then it looks if there's adjustable height mod, there certainly was for 19. And if there is, maybe think about using so I can get up there. So if you're not careful, it can flip the trailer over. I've had it before, and trust me, it's not good. If I leave him there, like that, so I'm then going to send the trailer. I'm going to bring the tractor over as well. Get beacons when we're on the roadway. Oh, this tractor already could do with a clean, and probably a service. Yeah, this one came off the second hand. Luckily, as you can tell by the hours, this one wasn't bought brand new. But there's plenty of life left in vehicles like this. Yeah, I do like to. Oh, see, I told you traffic was on. I just nearly got Citroen DS'd. You can imagine this guy, if I were to fully load this trailer and try and get him to come up here, I can see having some real difficulties with it. Here with the empty trailer, he's losing speed. Down a gear. Oh, Sorry, Van Man. There's these other tracks for the folks. I've actually. I should go for an explore one day. Just because there's a cutting in there. I can't see that being there for nothing. Looking at this map, there's got to be a reason why that's there, which is probably worth an explore. We probably will do that one day when we've not got as much farming work to do, because believe me, right now we have more than enough to get on with. This is soybeans. I can't remember if this is something we need for that first VIP order or not. And if I pull this into here, oh, no, we don't. We don't need, but we do need for the second layer. So if we can get it and store it. Wow, I do sunflowers and sunflowers. So we're gonna need a corn header for our harvester as well. Oh well. So this guy's now getting ahead. I'm probably gonna pause on the second little time lapse here just to try and move things along. And what I'll do is I'll start picking up this field. And like I said, for the last field, I'll probably start the next episode with the last field, where we're going to cut that one for hay rather than just the grass like we have been doing. So anyway folks, I'm going to get on with this. I'll catch you on the other side. And there we are folks, that's all the grass fields. So I said I wanted about 300,000 litres into, let's see what we've got. 249,460. Oh, not quite as much as I was hoping for, but once we have size that should give us a decent. So at one point I'm going to call this episode here now, folks. I think we've had more than enough. My plan is off air to do the compacting. You see, I've got this lovely big lever here, loading shovel that's going to be compacting. Also going to be helpful for unloading that silo. I think this bucket's about 8,500 litres, something like that. So I'm going to do that, and then next episode, field 91 gets hay. We harvest field 54. We get 92 and 83. We get these two all re-rolled. We also get this, the straw cleared and then replanted. It could be another busy episode. I hope you enjoy it. I would say quickly, I know you probably now people were questioning. I said fields 83 and 92 are getting cut into crops, so why am I rolling them? Well, I may not be able to do the cutting straight away. Whereas at least by rolling them, they're back to productivity. If I get another grass cut in before they get made into crop fields, then that's all bonus, that's all extra money. So anyway, folks, I'm going to leave this one here now. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you really enjoyed this. This could be the start of a good long-running series. I'm very hopeful that we can make it very entertaining, something you're all going to enjoy. Please leave your comments below. Let us know what you think. Let us know any ideas, suggestions. Tell me I'm an idiot. Whatever you want to do, just go for it. So thank you very much for watching, and until next time, we'll see ya. Goodbye.